What am I getting at? Did anybody grow up in a college town? Yeah? Okay. I grew up in a town called Athens, Georgia. Go Dogs, stick 'em. Allegedly a great team. But I, and both of my parents were like, had like PhDs. My dad was a professor. And I really grew up with this narrative of like, we live in like a good place in like within the big bad place of the South. Like I was like, you have to know that this was like a really intense narrative that was being presented at like Athens Montessori school, It was, and it's really violent, it's really harmful. And I think this is something I like, well, we met, there's a whole album that we made that was really focused on it, but I think something that I will spend a lifetime thinking about is like the subtle messages about this sort of like, I don't know, very, sort of settler colonial project of like liberal intellectualism or whatever. Not to be too niche. What I'm trying to say is that there's this way I think that like sometimes, especially in like university, like academic spaces, is where we be like, our ideas are the most right, and we're like here against like all these like backwards people, which actually is like deeply problematic and like white supremacist and violent, and it like fails to see the ways that it's complicit in systems of oppression. And I think the more that we are able to see ways, and I will speak for myself as a white male-bodied person who is a man, like can see the ways that like my socialization is complicit in like really violent, horrific systems, and just like be with that and like see it face on, is like the ways that we can dismantle those systems. But being like, I'm good, doesn't do that. And so that's like the message, that's not the message that I grew up with. I've been talking for a long time. That's what the song is about. There's a lot of words, so we're just gonna play the song. We're just gonna move on. Okay. It was too soon. There was a Zoom. Okay, alright. It was a Zoom. It was a thing that took place somewhere else. Grew up in a town where a match just found on a job search and not to cry will. You have so many friends who are just like me, who think it's for a kid for a spell. It was a Zoom that the South was a thing that took place somewhere else. Like a feel in a home. All alone from a college town apart to a show. In every chapter with pictures and laughter, and the wild sense of ourselves. There's a place we were from, shed a shame we should show. Like a drop on the sweat, dripping down from my screen. And the south is a thing that's a place somewhere else. Like the thunder was down on the edge of my town, progressing over the west as it fell. And all visits to relatives couldn't quite tell, cause the pounding heart sank as it slow. It was assumed that the south was a thing that took place somewhere else. As the Jim Crow geographies did not haunt all of the streetscapes we've come to know well. But a high school has stories to tell. I can check the sound of that old college town rings so loud to me now. I must say, I think what's all our restaurants, trash talking, debutantes, like they say, half mushroom, not good to wait. The town was a thing that took place somewhere else. And probably it was, which I say just because we weren't noticing when power was held. Captivated the capital credit for white liberal logics prevailed. It was assumed that the South was a thing that took place somewhere else. Multiracial resistance and revolt ambitions cast out the revisionist skills. Yeah, power concedes about as much as it needs, and he started to see for ourselves.
This has been a cycle. Every textbook and TV I'm on the way. Could never try to focus on politics of hating. Rejecting, renewing, affirming, and negating.